In this video, you'll use your new paper pulp skills to create a work of art. And we'll show you some more tips and tricks along the way. Paper pulp designs look great, whether you go with a minimal or intricate composition. Watch to see how we plan and paint our design. Here's a preview of our final painting, dried and ready to hang up. We used these foam shapes plus the cookie cutter. Then at the very end, we added the blue leaves and circle on top, using just the sculpting tool. We'll take you through creating our composition and how we turned that vision into reality. Even if you end up creating something completely different than ours, it can help to see the process. So just watch for now and start brainstorming your own composition. We decided to go with a portrait orientation for our painting. But you could turn the tray to be a landscape. Our first layer will be abstract shapes of different colors. So we're cutting those out from foam and arranging those onto the mesh, along with the cookie cutter. Keep in mind that the foam can be used to create any type of shape you want. Now we'll start with filling in the cookie cutter. By the way, you can use cookie cutters from home if you want. Just be sure to wash them after this project. After filling in the cookie cutter, the next step is to fill the background. That way, we'll have an outline around the foam shapes. Now we'll remove the foam shapes and fill in the spaces one at a time. Removing and filling one at a time helps the other shapes stay intact until it's their turn to be filled. Okay, now that we've filled our shapes, this painting could be considered complete. But we decided to layer a few more shapes on top for a more complex look. So you don't have to stop adding pulp just because the mesh screen is full. You can layer on more elements until you feel satisfied with your painting. And remember that your painting doesn't have to fill the whole screen. You could create a smaller work of art using just a part of the screen. Your whole painting could even be in the shape of a circle or a triangle. You're not limited to a rectangular canvas shape when it comes to paper pulp. You can see that our orange pulp spread out a bit more than we would like. So we're just going over that with more of the light blue slurry. Now it's your turn to plan your composition. Set up your workspace like before, with the mess mat, tray, plastic bars, and mesh screen. If you want to use the foam, cut out your shapes and lay them on the mesh screen. You can even sketch out a design on a piece of paper first, if that helps you visualize what you want to make. Hit pause until you're finished planning your composition. Alright, here's a quick recap of mixing the slurry. Plus, a tip on color mixing. Yes, you can mix pulp colors. You can adjust your own slurry ratios to your liking, but keep in mind the maximum amount that you can fit into each container, as shown in this chart. You can also add more paper and more water as you paint, if you start to run low. Remember to shake until the paper pieces dissolve. If you run out of containers, but don't want to throw away any of your current colors, you can transfer them into a bowl or cup from home. Then rinse your jar or bottle and use it for the next color. And you can really expand your color palette by mixing colors. Start by creating the 2 slurry colors you want to mix. Add 1 or 2 spoonfuls of the darker color to the lighter color and mix. Once you give the container a good shake, you'll see the 2 colors transform into a new color. Keep adding a spoonful or 2 at a time until you get the shade you want. Remember that the slurry color lightens quite a bit once it dries, so feel free to test out a small amount and let it dry to see the result. Just like paints, you might want to stick with just mixing 2 colors at a time, unless, of course, you want to make brown. Hit pause now to create your first batches of pulp slurry. Then, go ahead and paint. We'll meet you back here at this point in the video when you're ready to dry your painting. When you're ready, follow along for a quick recap of how to dry your painting. Place a loose mesh sheet on top of your painting. Then grab fresh paper towels or a dry sponge and absorb the water from your painting. Remember to check for any thin spots and add slurry as needed. Then, keep absorbing the water. If your practice painting is still drying, go ahead and carefully remove it from the couching sheets so you can use them for your other painting. Flip over the couching sheets to the drier side. Remember that you can reuse the couching sheets over and over again, so don't toss them after your paintings are dry. Carefully flip your painting onto the 2 couching sheets. Absorb the water from the other side until the mesh screen has that foggy look and releases from your painting. Now, very carefully remove your practice painting from the other loose mesh screen. Ours came right off, but be gentle if yours resists. You don't want to tear your artwork. Then you can put the mesh on your new painting and put another couching sheet on top. Press down to absorb more water. You might notice your couching sheets get a bit warped as you use them for more paintings, but they'll still be usable. Just iron them flat if needed. Remove the top layer. Rinse your tools and let your painting dry overnight. Then come back and watch the final video to learn how to seal and frame your masterpiece.